Test, test.
Check, check.
Ask you if you please stand, gentlemen, and remove your hats. Speak of the actual marching band perform the national anthem. We'd like to get started with the Perryville Pirates and their fans.
All you gotta do is slide it left, right, and then if you want to zoom, then you don't have to do this, just before the play. Like if you're down here, you can zoom a little bit. Okay? Thank you. First half, that's all you gotta do, baby.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's football game, homecoming here at St. Genevieve at Dragon Field. We have the St. Genevieve Dragons coming in against the Perryville Pirates. Tonight I will bring the broadcast to you. I'm Russ Toombs with, again, Adam Sherry, going to actually be helping me out. And we'll do our best, and this has been a while for me. I haven't done it in a while, but Coach Schweiss, who does it with Coach Sherry a lot, is one of the heads of the homecoming, and so he's pretty busy. So we're going to do our best and hopefully bring the game to you, and you'll be able to watch some of your friends, family play the game, and we'll bring it to you and do our best.
Yes, Coach Schweiss, one of the few people who might be more busy than the actual coaches this week. Got a lot going on with the candidates, the parade, basically everything involved with homecoming save for the pep assembly. He's been running around with his like a chicken with his head cut off all day. But like Coach Toombs said, we'll get it going. Get it going with the coin toss right here. Not sure what to expect tonight. Both teams relatively even, coming in with similar records. Perryville won their first couple games. They've dropped a couple games to Potosi. Beat Fredericktown, I believe. Perryville is going to be more run-oriented. They have thrown 60 times in 5 games, so they're throwing about 12 times a game, just shy of 400 yards, 7 touchdown passes. They're going to spread it around running the ball. Their quarterback has 80 carries, but then they have 2 kids with double-digit carries, a couple kids with 7 carries, 1 kid with 6. So they're going to spread it around rushing the ball. St. Gen, those of you who have been watching, you know they're going to try to throw the ball a little bit more. Logan Gegg comes in with 65 completions on 117 attempts, just shy of 800 yards, 799, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He does a good job spreading the ball around to his receivers. Peyton Matthews leads that group with 25 catches. Bryce Trollinger's got 18. Zach Boyer 9. Brett Beezer with 5. Matthews just shy of 300 yards. Boyer about 200. Trollinger 165. And again, they've thrown for 6 touchdowns. Perryville's they look to have shown their 3-man front defense the first 5 games. I think we'll see a similar defense. Valley kind of started that trend against St. Gen with a 3-man front. Kennett played a little bit of 3. Park Hills uncharacteristically played a 3-man front. They came out in a 3-3 last week with a lot of man coverage and a single high safety. Perryville, I think, is going to give it more. They're going to have a lot more zone behind it. So they didn't blitz a ton against St. Vincent last week, but I would not be surprised if they try out St. Gen's offensive line with some blitzes.
Right.
If they don't blitz and keep that 5-man box, I think St. Gen's going to try to establish the run. And if they can establish the run and get guys back in the box, then St. Gen will have a ton of completions on short routes.
And you may have seen we did have the coin toss, and Perryville did win the coin toss and decided to defer, so they will kick off to St. Genevieve here in the first quarter. Again, we did mention it is homecoming night, lots of festivities throughout the week. We'll try to maybe at halftime, though, they're going to make lots of different announcements. We'll try to get some of those to you. Maybe we'll get a few shots down at the stage where the Queen candidates and attendants are sitting. And hopefully it's a great night for football, great weather. Can't beat this, Coach Sherry.
It's about time. Early in the week, we were still pushing 97. And then last night I was out, and it was finally fall. Had a late practice with one of my kids, and I had a T-shirt on and I needed a sweatshirt. And I don't like using the term, but I think it's appropriate. It's finally football weather.
Right.
It's a nice, cool day. It's a great night for a homecoming game, and hopefully our kids come out and play. They've had a tendency of kind of coming out and feeling out their opponents. It'd be nice to come out and put one on the board early here and get the crowd into it. Huge home crowd. Perryville, decent crowd for the short trip, but huge home crowd.
Right. All right, we got the kickoff. Looks like it's going to go back and little fake reverse. And they'll find the seam. I believe that's Peyton Matthews. Just tripped up just around the Perryville 35-yard line, 36-yard line. Great run back there. A little bit of a fake reverse, maybe to try to keep him honest.
Yeah, a little, not much in it other than a little fake reverse, but Peyton Matthews, he's going to be really frustrated that number 59 caught him. I'm not saying anything about 59, but usually if you're a skill guy and you get tackled by 59 from behind, you're going to be pretty disappointed.
Yeah, I think he tripped him up on the toe a little bit. I think he felt like he was going to go. Looks like St. Genevieve's going to come out with trips right, one to the left. And again, Coach Sherry, you're going to have to help me with formations. In motion. Looks like a keep by Logan.
Yeah, St. Gen went trips there with the unbalanced formation, and with the way Perryville walks their defensive end out, they lose contain. All the tackle's got to do is hook the D in. Well, he's technically a tackle on that three-man front, and if he hooks him, St. Gen was lead blocking with 5 guys basically.
Right.
If St. Gen wants to and they hit a tackle eligible, right here you could hit tackle eligible to the right tackle, and he would walk into the end zone.
Get another motion left by Jesse Kemper. Back again to, is that Logan back there again?
They went
direct snap to Zach.
Yeah, they went direct snap to Zach Boyer with Logan lead blocking there. Same play other way. We called that Warrior last year, and it's an easy way to get guys carries and not get them as beat up.
Again, same formation by St. Genevieve. Trips right, one to the left. Zach Boyer in the backfield with Logan. Logan Gack at quarterback. Fakes it. Looks like he's looking to pass. Over the head, I believe. That is Brett Beezer. Logan probably like to have that one back.
Well, I don't know. They may have been trying to hit a little RPO there and read that inside linebacker, and if they were doing that, Brett was thinking slant, and one of them got fade, one of them got slant. But that was, there was miscommunication there. But this is your 1st and 10 at the 25. You're in 4-down territory, so that's a shot play. No big deal. You still got 3 downs to get it.
Looks like we had double tight, one to each side. Again, Zach in the backfield. It's direct snap to Zach. He runs around the right side. Great block out there. That was Peyton Matthews on the block to spring him around the right side. He crashed down, left it wide open along the right-hand side. Touchdown, St. Genevieve.
That's with that defense. If you don't control the edge, which they're going to have trouble controlling the edge with their defensive ends walked out, you're leaving yourself susceptible to huge running lanes. And I mean, St. Gen attempted a pass, but every yard was gained via the run on that drive. All
right, brings out our kicker, Matias, what is Matias' last name? Lacerda, foreign exchange student from Brazil. First varsity opportunity, straight through. Gotta love that. That kid's excited.
Mateus he's been working on his craft. I think he was 5 for 5 in the JV game on Monday. And the good thing about Mateus, he probably hadn't watched a lot of American football. There's probably not a lot of nerves for him. I do need to apologize, Coach Toombs. I did not do my job of keeping stats.
Missed some stats, didn't you? That's okay. We make stuff up anyway.
Boyer had a touchdown. We know that. Need to have less individual stats anyway. Boyer had a touchdown, and Mateus is 1 for 1. And St. Gen's winning 7-0. That's all the stats we need.
That's what you need. That's the stat that matters. All right, looks like Zach Boyer going to kick off here for St. Genevieve.
Kicking off for the Dragons, number 6, Zach Boyer.
Got the run back. Good coverage. Oh, we broke a couple tackles. Brings it right up to about the 34-yard line. That's where Perryville start their first drive.
That's what, we talked about St. Gen coming out, putting some points on the board. That's a big one for St. Gen. Perryville, I believe the last time they beat St. Gen was 07. So these kids, they can't even remember the last time they beat St. Genevieve. You put 7 on them quick, get a defensive stop here, drive down, put another one on them. These dudes, they're not comfortable beating St. Gen because they've never seen it happen.
Yeah. All right, Perryville in 2x2, motion, cross, fake the handoff. Looks like he's going back to throw. We said he doesn't throw a whole lot. Looks like he's got a receiver there, though.
Yeah, St. Gen.
Number 10, it looks like. Is that right?
St. John, that was number 10. St. John came out with a heavy box. They were in a 4-3 there, and they came up on the fake jet motion to support run and basically went straight coverage 0. And that was a good play call. That's well-designed play. That's not, that play wasn't drawn up tonight. That was drawn up early in the week, and that was something they knew they were going to run.
Yeah. Here again is what we kind of anticipated up through the box. Running back for Perryville getting a good 6 to 7 yards there. Going to leave it second and probably, let's call it 4. Long 4, maybe right at 5. Again, that's kind of what Coach Sherry was saying. That's kind of what we anticipated, which, that long pass play, again, that was one that was drawn up early ahead of time knowing we were loading the box. So.
And that was Dawson Camden that caught the ball. He's got 3 touchdowns this year, so he's a very effective receiver for him.
Again, this time the quarterback's going to keep it. He smothered pretty quickly, maybe a gain of, let's call it 2. Going to bring up a relatively 3rd and maybe 3, long 3. Here's a big stop for St. Genevieve. I imagine you're in 4-down territory here if you're Perryville. So they got 2 downs to try to make that 3 yards. And again, they line up in the 2x2. One guy in the backfield.
We talked about the quarterback. He's got 80 carries already, so they're gonna pound him all night long.
Motion left to right. This time they do hand off on the sweep. Looks like St. John sniffs it out extremely well. Again, there's a no gain. Not sure who came up on that. Again, when you're getting close to 50, the eyes don't work like they used to.
Yeah, they tried to run in a little jet motion. It looks like an outside zone. You're just giving to the receiver turned running back there, and he's just trying to find a hole. And St. John did a good job staying in their lanes, and there was no lanes for him to fill.
Perryville on 4th and 3. Fake, going to throw it out. Looks like they got the running back out here. Incomplete pass. Looks like St. Genevieve will take over. He flushed out and flooded left, and looked like for a minute that he had his back out of the backfield. It was going to be open, but I think he just, when he saw it, by the time he saw it, he was then guarded by, looks like probably our outside linebacker, and just threw it into the flat, incomplete.
Yeah, he rode his fake and let the back try to sneak out, and like you said, he came open, but right when by the time he got off his fake, Kobe Hatfield, he didn't get fooled at all. He read his keys and saw the back trying to sneak out, and he was right there with him.
They sit in the house there and do a pretty good job. You can tell they were blitzing on that one. They were coming. They kind of St. John handled them up front that first drive, so you're going to see some more blitzes. But you're playing with fire when you start blitzing and you got your safeties this wide, because if Logan gets by the linebackers, absolutely,
there's nobody left in the middle of the field.
Yeah. St. John again in there 2x2. Perryville stacking it inside. Sends Zach out into the flat. Oh, good pass, good hit. Good throw there by Logan to Bryce Trollinger. Bryce just catches it on the run, gets a good 12-yard gain for a St. Genevieve first down. First down, St. Genevieve at the St. John 40-yard line.
Yeah, with the safeties walked out there, they just snuck him in underneath on a little skinny from the slot position, and they're just daring you to throw it in the middle of the field. Yeah. Now they're kind of shutting it down, but now you're one-on-one on the backside.
Trips left, one to the right. Again, Zach, looks like Bryce Trollinger in motion, fake, and hand to Zach. Zach up the middle. Reads his blocks, gets a little bit of a gain, maybe about 3 on the game. Brings up 2nd and 7 for St. Genevieve.
Yeah, they're going to keep that. They're going to keep a relatively light box, playing that 5-man box. St. John's they're going to try to establish a run. They've got, DNs who are blitzing this time.
Again, Logan reading the key. Up the middle, about a 2-yard gain. Going to bring him 3rd and 5. Just if you're looking from home and watching, keep in mind that St. Genevieve is in their 3rd uniform grays. They are on offense right now. You look out there and see the green and white and probably think that's St. Genevieve, but that is Perryville.
Yeah, St. John going with the alternates. kids have worked hard the last 5 years raising a ton of money, and Coach White does a good job of not just sitting on that money. He rewards the kids and lets them get things that they've earned.
Logan sprints out left, looking for a receiver, off the back foot. Good throw, good catch. Move the chains again. Great sprint out. Good job hitting Brett Beezer right in stride.
Yeah, they were playing that cover 3 there over St. Jen's Trips, and Beezer did a good job. He found the hole in the cover 3, and he didn't run through it. He just sat in it. Good receivers know that you don't need to keep running in the zone. Just find an open spot and sit in it.
Gave Logan a great target. You know, that's sprinting out left like that, being a right-hander. That can be a pretty tough throw, but, man, that's good effort there on both of those guys.
Yeah, that's tough to emulate in practice, too, because it's real easy to do when you're 75% speed. That's
Here we go,
a good
sprint
throw.
right. Bryce Challenger with the catch. Got about he may end up housing this. What a spin there after about a 25-yard gain. Breaks the tackle, and St. Genevieve into the end zone again.
Yeah, Bryce Challenger goes 43 there. That was pretty easy. That was just there was not a lot. It wasn't a real eccentric play call. It was a little sprint right, and Bryce just ran a little shoot route from the tight end position, and Perryville didn't have anybody in the flats.
Good run there by Bryce. You know, kid that's worked really hard to put himself where he is.
Yeah, Bryce he's as hard a worker as you'll find, and it's a blessing and a curse. He's very hard on himself too. So when Bryce makes a mistake, he kind of dawns on it too long. He beats himself up, but you know that a kid like that deserves it, and he's going to work for everything. He's going to work and outwork everybody he goes against, and it's real rewarding when you see a kid make a play like that, especially their senior year on homecoming.
Right. And again, Matthias, 2 for 2 now.
2 for 2. 7 for 7 on the season. Like we talked about, they got the first drive, it was all on the ground. Second drive, Perryville kind of made some adjustments, started putting a little more heat on. St. John had limited success on the ground, but then basically got everything through the air on that one.
Again, kickoff about at the 18-yard line field, and he gets it out to about the 24 and decides to just go down.
Interesting technique. Looked like an NFL quarterback on that one, but I guess he was about 1 on 5, so he made what the pros like to call the old business decision.
All right, Perryville come out for their second drive. Nearly the same territory he was for the first drive.
And save for that long pass, St. John did a good job the first drive.
2 by 2s.
Fell asleep.
Motion left. Pass out. Good pickup there again from Perryville. Looks like they're going to get about 12 and a first down.
Good job there by the Perryville coaching staff. St. John, when they motion the guy across, St. John's flying up with their safety to take away the jet sweep, and in turn their corner may be dropping a little bit, and they just threw it out to the wideout. Easy first down.
Looks like same play this side. Perryville again with a pretty large gain. Same play this side.
That's exactly what they're doing. St. John's rolling to what looks like a cover 3. When they do that, the safety's coming up to take away the flats, and the corner's dropping back because he's got deep third, and Perryville's just picking on the corner who's dropped to about 10 or 12 yards. And, I mean, a bad play out of it is going to be about a 10-yard gain. A good play is going to be 35 like you just saw.
Right. Perryville marches it in 2 plays down to about the 28-yard line of St. Genevieve. Oh, man, looks if he catches, he's a good pass, good catch. That's, again, that same receiver there for Perryville, number 10, Dawson Camden, which I think you said had 7 touchdowns. Going to get to add 1 to that. So, is it 3?
Actually, he had He had 3 receiving
okay.
and 2 rushing, so that
There you
makes 6 total touchdowns for the season. He's obviously a good player. And St. John, it's very difficult because they're going to come at you with that jet motion. If you don't adjust, they're going to give it, and they're going to have success because they're willing to run their quarterback. I mean, he's been averaging 16 carries a game. So if you don't load the box, they're going to pound you with the quarterback, and if you go cover 0, then it looks like he's an able passer with able receivers. So St. John will have to make some adjustments, but looks like we could have a decently competitive game.
Yeah, Perryville again, if I'm not mistaken, was at 3 plays. 3 plays, marched it down nearly 80 yards or so, and
They were 3 for 3.
yeah.
After the slide by the return man.
Yeah, we'll make the adjustments there, and Coach White and his staff is going to do a good job to make sure that that's something that's closed out on.
Yeah, this is 2 kickoffs in the first quarter for St. John. We haven't, I guess we saw that in the Dexter game. We haven't really had a back and forth game that we've had St. John in yet.
This time it looks like it's going to be up by the up back. So maybe Jesse Kemper. He gets to the outside. He also is going to be run out of bounds by number 59, the guy that kicker. That's number 6. All right, that was Zach.
They bumped Zach to the up back position, and I think if I were Perryville, I'd find somebody else to pick on than St. John's leading rusher.
Yeah. Again, sorry about the number.
That is one of the things about these jerseys. The numbers they can be a bit confusing with their slanted script.
St. Genevieve again, trips right, single to the left. Zach in the backfield, Logan a quarterback. Sweep right with Zach, looks like he's going to gain 9 yards or so. Bring up a short second down.
Perryville brought the blitz off the edge that time, but Perryville's, their outside linebackers are offensive linemen.
Yeah.
And it looks good when you bring a blitz, but when you're blitzing outside, or you're blitzing lineman type like that, the outside linebacker on the down on this side is number 57. Well, Zach Boyer's going to win that race.
Logan going deep here to Brett Beezer. Oh, man, he was open. I think Logan, again, that's another one he'd like to have back. He had 2 options there. He was wide open, and you also saw Zach coming out of the backfield with nobody around him.
Yeah, I think he was, like you said, it was a little 2-man route there, and I don't know what his first read was, but I think he wanted to hit Zach, and the guy dropped with him, and he got a little late look at Brett, and if he had just put it more to the outside, that was going to be another 40-ish yard touchdown pass. But St. John's going to go for it. They're going to have 2 downs here.
Yeah, it looks like they didn't get much there on that one.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him go power eye here.
It is going to bring up a 4th and 1. Again, you're in definite 4-down territory. I know that Mateus has got a good leg, but not that good.
No, we saw the Park Hills kid try the 55-yarder. I don't think St. John's quite got that kind of confidence in Mateus. Wouldn't be surprised if it looks like Perryville's going to send 7. Speed option, good call there.
Yeah, that's a good call, and good job by Brett Beezer to getting a seal there. You know, I've seen some really good things out of our receivers on some good blocks.
And that's a killer right there, because you hate to see Brett punished for that. They got a flag, it's going to be a hold. And that's one where you're not mad at a kid, because that's an effort play. And, I mean, we saw effort. Referee saw a hold. I'm not going to judge. I mean, it's probably the right call. But you're never disappointed in your kid when he's trying. You're disappointed if you see him pull his hands back and not block. So, big penalty, but nothing you'd be mad at as a coach.
Exactly.
It's actually going to leave St. John at a pretty manageable 4th down, too.
So it's going to bring down about a 4th and 2.
Here comes St. John with their power eye. Perryville's not adjusting to it.
Logan under center this time. Looks like we got Austin Bullock. I don't know who else is in there, Coach Sherry. You can see better than I.
It's Bullock and Hatfield and Trollinger in the backfield. Timeout. Yeah, Perryville had some D-backs playing 8-10 yards off the ball. If you're going to defend power eye on 4th and 2, you better get everybody within about 4 yards of the ball.
Well, we had the pep assembly today. What did you think about the pep assembly there, Coach Sherry?
Well, I was at the pep assembly for about 5 minutes, and then I headed down to ISS. So I spent the pep assembly
I got you.
kind of watching some game film on these two teams, trying to get ready for tonight. Wasn't real peppy in ISS.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Pep assembly, cheerleaders, Emeralds, student council all did a fantastic job. Some really, enjoyable to watch our kids be excited about homecoming.
Yeah, that's one thing that's really cool about. I know this is year 15 for me. It's probably year like 37 for you. I'm not sure, but the kids, they just get excited about this week, and the teachers and administration does a good job of letting them be excited.
Yeah. Good cut back there by Zach. Breaking a tackle or two. Getting the first down. I'm sorry,
Coach Bowser smartly got out of power eye there, knowing that Perryville was going to maybe sub in, and went speed option. Just they ran it earlier and got the first down on the hold and got it called back, and then just went trips and went speed option the other way. That's in that defense, that I wouldn't be surprised to see that a lot more from St. John.
It's like motion forward to the right. Again, gonna right to Zach. Zach's gonna hit the hole. Look to get up the sideline, about a 5-yard gain.
Again, St. John going with they're just out leveraging you. It's not rocket science. They're going trips, and they're trips unbalanced. They got 2 guys on the line over there, and then they're motioning Brett Beezer across the formation and leading with Logan Gegg. So he's got 5 lead blockers, and I mean that's just 5 yards that they're going to take.
Logan sprints left,
Got
looking
him.
for an open. There, hits Zach.
Great coverage. Great coverage that time by Perryville. They did a good job. They stayed doubled on Brett, and then the linebacker stayed with Zach, and Logan just stayed with the play and made a really good throw. Zach with a really good throw and catch. We got another flag. If they call a hold here, this is not very good.
And you know, Coach Sherry, I don't do this a lot, so I'm not afraid to say it. That was not even close to a hold.
Yeah, I saw the first one. I wouldn't disagree with the first one. This one, I didn't see anything there.
No, I mean, Brett was doing a great job. He was locked up with him. He wasn't grabbing. He wasn't tugging. Yeah, okay. They take that one away, and that's the right call. I'm not sure what the official was looking at to even throw it personally. And, again, I don't do this very often, so I'm not afraid to say it.
I agree with you on that one. Obviously, somebody in stripes out there agreed that was not the right call. St. John back to the power eye here on 1st and goal from about the 6. And that's a new play out of the formation. They've been running power out of that. That time they came with a little slide trap. It looked like a little inside slide trap. And that's the hard part about power eye. You don't have a lot of plays you can run out of it because everything's so tight. So you got to get creative with what you can do.
Touchdown, I believe, by Austin Bullock. Again, out of that same, like you said, power eye. St. Genevieve goes back on top. by 2 touchdowns, pending the extra point.
Yeah, they ran the fake toss, little counter slide trap there on first and goal, and then they came back and ran the toss power on second goal, knowing they only had to get a yard. And the blocking wasn't great on the power play, but Austin did a good job of just being patient, knowing that as long as I don't get tackled for a loss here, it's a good play. And waited, found where he wanted to go, and that's you just got to put your head down and wait for another gray jersey to get behind you and push you into the end zone.
Yeah.
Mateus.
Hey.
Money.
He's money.
Yeah, if they'd had him at the Potosi game, that last overtime wouldn't have been so strenuous, knowing that if Potosi scored, all they needed was an extra point to win.
Yeah. Looks like he maybe is going to take the honors here to kick off this time.
They may have Mateus kick off and just be an inside bullet and run down and make the tackle too.
Fun kid walking across the halls. Talked to him a few times. I think he's excited to be here and be a part.
I would think that it would be just being an exchange student would be scary and exciting at the same time, but have to be pretty thrilling for him to actually be out in front of a crowd like this.
Yes. Oh,
that's a block in the back.
I think, again, same effort there. Receiver catches the ball, sees 5 gray jerseys, and decides, it's not worth it.
And that's what you hope for on your kickoff team is to stop the return inside the 20, and Mateus put a decent foot on it, and St. John drops him just inside the 18. So good job by the kicker and the kickoff team to fly down and make a play, or fly down and scare someone, I guess.
Yeah, looks like Perryville start at the 18-yard line. Just get what you want to do. Get them inside their 20. Same formation for Perryville, 2-by-2, 1 in the backfield. Motion left. Handoff up the middle. Good hard run there. Number 47 looks like that is Caleb Grimaud. A good strong run there.
And St. John looks like in an effort to combat the passing attack, they've gone to a 3 as well. Little 3-4, probably with a zone over the top of it, trying to take some pressure off these corners. That way they're not running up on the jet sweep. They've already got an outside linebacker waiting for it. They got Jesse Kemper and Brett Beezer playing outside linebacker, just trying to quit giving these easy throws to Perryville's quarterback on the short passes and then the one-on-ones outside.
Looks like maybe it was close enough to at least measure. My wife's favorite part of football right here. You just try to guess where the runner was with the ball, and then all of a sudden you want to make it exact and decide whether they got the first down or not.
It does seem kind of cavemanish that, yeah, I mean, you're truly guessing, like, where was the ball when his knee went down? And then, right, we have a set of chains that's exactly 30 feet long, and let's see how close they were.
Looks like he's going to bring a short second down here for the Perryville Pirates. Again, motion left, comes back, looking to throw the ball again, flushed out. Yeah, I think best effort there was probably by Coach Wyke. Is that who that is?
Coach Wyke, did he make the play?
Didn't make the play.
Well, he's a defensive coach. He just batted it down.
That's what you teach your guys to do.
And that's Perryville tried to catch St. John flying up, but that's St. John's gotten out of that 4-3 they were in and gone with a 3-4, so they don't have to fly up as much, and they've got more guys in coverage, and they were able to squat on the fullback out of the backfield.
Fullback up the middle, going to get the first down. Gains about 3 to 4 yards. Going to bring up a first down for Perryville from their own 32-yard line.
That's the tough part for St. John. Perryville doesn't have their heights and weights in the program, but even with your eyes, you can tell that their linemen are a thicker group than St. John's D linemen. So you play the 3 to take away the big plays, but sometimes you start giving up short chunks of yardage when you do so.
Quarterback keeps this one up the middle. Good play there. Looks like that's 56. Is that 55 or 6?
Luke Terry on the play. Got a little penetration. Wrapped up the quarterback. Good play.
Really good play there by Luke. Keep the quarterback. If he gets out there, that's at least probably 5 or 6 yards. Luke wrapped him up, made a good play. Only got about 1.5 yards.
Yeah, St. John's got Evan Walker playing one defensive tackle, and then, well, I guess in St. John's it's more of a defensive end, and Kreitler playing the other defensive end with Luke Terry on the nose.
Oh, good play. Oh, got loose. Going to get, still lose a little bit of yardage out of it, but I believe that was probably Clayton Kreitler hit him first and just quite didn't wrap up, and he snuck out a little bit, and they still lost yardage, but it could have been even a bigger loss of. And
that's kind of one thing that's been hampering St. John is not doing things like that. That's what you want your defensive end to do. He's not. You don't need him to slow play in a 3-man front. You need him to attack the quarterback. Kreitler attacked the quarterback and tried to punish him, and he missed him, but he did try to punish him.
Right.
We're going to break here at the end of the first quarter. Coach Toombs, you want to advertise a little bit?
I'll do it.
In 1963, Fleeg's Equipment was founded as a family-owned and operated business in St. Genevieve, where it remains to this day, selling exceptional equipment such as Case IH, Hustler Turf, Vermeer, Cub Cadet, Massey, and many more, helping with all your family and lawn needs. Service from the time you enter the door or pick up the phone is taken to heart.
At Fleeg's Farm Equipment, we ask that you let our family
serve your family.
Go Dragons!
Perryville throwing the ball again that time. Looks like, you know the motions better than I do, Coach Sherry, but little screen out there.
Yeah, they've gotten more creative on offense. They were deficient last year. They came with the fake to their left, got the linebacker slow, and then came back with a little tunnel screen to the right, and it looks like they're in their own territory going for it on 4th and 1 here.
Oh, my. Quarterback keeps that. He fooled a lot. Now he may end up being gone. Quarterback did a good job there. Looked like he gave it off, and we stopped him, but he pulled it and ran around the right edge and had a big opening.
That's, again, St. John jump into their tighter defense there. They were in their 3, and then the outside linebackers walked down into a 5, and they ran midline, which is it's a really hard play to run out of shotgun. Kind of takes too long to develop, we think, but they hit it quick, and the quarterback rode it, pulled it. St. John was all over the dive back, so he was stopped. But then when the quarterback pulled and St. John had committed to the dive back, that's just either inside linebackers or outside linebackers' responsibility to stay home on the quarterback, and somebody didn't stay home.
With the extra point now, Perryville pulls to within 7, 21-14 here in the second quarter.
Yeah, that was good. I mean, Perryville's put together some good drives the last on their scoring drives. They had the big drive that was 3 pass plays, and then that drive I guess it was 4 plays. They hit the little tunnel screen to set them up at 4th and short, and then went with a freeze play to try to get St. John to jump. St. John was disciplined there, but then good play call with the midline there on 4th and short, and it was just a gutsy call or gutsy play by the quarterback to pull it and outrun the edge.
Yeah, that was a good play call, like you said, and again, I do want to give a shout out here to Dayton Decker helping us out here on the video and showed the girls of homecoming. It's exciting for them sitting down there and watching the ball game, I'm sure, really intently. Little squib kick.
Intently might be a stretch.
Looks like fielded again by Peyton Matthews up the middle. Spins there and dives forward to the St. Genevieve 44-yard lines where we will start our next drive. No punch yet, Coach Sherry.
Yeah, Perryville went with the deep kickoff the first time with a big return, the pooch the second time with a pretty good return, and then that time they tried the squib kick, and St. John's still getting the ball at their own 44 with excellent field position, so I don't know what they're going to go with next. But, yeah, you're right. I haven't seen any punts in the game. It's entertaining for the fans. Not entertaining for the defensive coaches.
No, probably not at all. Logan surveying the field. Looks like he's going to take off now and gain some extra yards and tackled. Lost the ball, but I believe it was after the tackle. Gained himself probably about 16 yards there, 17. Oh, got a flag. Did not see it.
I think the Whitehead may have said false start, which I don't know why you wouldn't blow the play dead if it was a false start.
Looks like it might be on Perryville. We're not really marching ourselves back any.
Where the flag is definitely not a false start.
Is that a personal foul, look like?
I think that was the signal he gave. It was the least impressive personal foul signal I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was curious. Not sure what went on for that. Did somebody maybe get a hold of the face mask or?
Yeah, you'd usually give a face mask call there. I don't know if a guy chop blocked and just took a guy's knees out in the open field. That was a strange place for that to be thrown.
Anyway, St. Genevieve will have the ball 1st and 10 here from the Perryville 24-yard line. They look over and survey the coaches down here with the hand signal to tell the line, to tell the backs, tell everybody what to play. We're going to run. Back to Logan. Looks like we're going to go pass again. Again, he's flushed out. Throws the ball and looks like probably going to get a hold. Looking where that flag is. Yes, it is a hold.
Yeah, it looked like St. John tried to go back to the same play that they hit Trollinger on for the long touchdown. He was at right tight end and snuck out in the flats. Perryville did a good job of squatting on it, covered him in the flats, and then covering the 2 outside receivers as well.
I can tell you that one was not on Brett Beezer.
First down.
St. Genevieve comes out again, trips right. 1 to the left. Logan rolls left, options to Zach. Zach's going to take around the edge, get back to the original line of scrimmage and maybe a 1 or 2 more. Definitely will bring up a manageable second down. Second down and probably about 8, 7. No, it looks like it's going to be closer to 8.
Yeah, that's St. John's they're going to wear out Perryville on the speed option if they want to keep walking their safety over the top of trips, because all you've got to outrun is this defensive end outside linebacker type who's not.
Logan that time fakes the option, keeps it himself, tucks inside, runs himself for probably about 7 yards. Going to bring back down a 3rd and 2, it looks like. Again, I think it's maybe 3. Let's call it 3rd and 3. Definite 4-down territory, I would anticipate. Looks like they're coming again with the inverted here.
They're gonna go power I here,
okay.
knowing that they've got, you got 2 downs to get 6 feet, guys. Let's be tough enough to do it. Perryville stayed in there. They didn't even really bump it down to a 5. They kept their D tackles over the top of St. John's offensive tackles. It's not a great defensive alignment to stop that offense, but when you get holding penalties, you stop yourself real quick.
Absolutely. Going to be a little tougher on 3rd down here, but again, 4-down territory. So you got 2 downs to make. Probably, let's call it 8 yards.
Yeah, that was a good play. They whitewashed the defensive front 7 of Perryville. Bullock looked to have picked up 10 or 12 on that one.
Logan sprints out left, throws into the open. Looks like that's Brett Beezer just right at the sticks. It's going to be really, really close here. Probably a little bit shy. Going to bring down a 4th and 1 here.
St. John's, with their speed option, has gotten Perryville's safety to stay on the single side away from the trips, and in doing so, they're going to open up passing lanes for their quarterback. Perryville's in just a little zone. St. John could hit their number 2 receiver on quick screens all day, or they're going to run that, looks like a little bench play, I think they call it, and outside receiver just squats in the open area, and he's going to be wide open.
St. Genevieve will take a timeout. Clock, they ran down that power I out there and then tried to get Perryville to jump, and they did not. Wind down the clock. They're going to take a timeout, talk about what they really want to do here to get this 1 yard. All right, we're going to try to jump to another commercial here. We'll be right back. Pitch back to Bullock there. He does look like he gains about 5 yards. He is going to get the first down. Just going to make it just outside the 10, so it will be just 1st and 10, not 1st and goal.
Yeah, St. John's sticking with the power. That's one where if you get your kids believing, they take a lot of pride in knowing that we're lining up in this formation, we're going to run this play right at you, and you're not going to stop it. Perryville's probably going to blitz with this big guy. They've got him stacked over number 16, Matthews.
Great inside. That's just a really good route, really good throw there. Again, Brett Beezer with the touchdown from Logan Gegg.
Yeah, that was the RPO they were talking about, wanting to run that. Basically, Logan Gegg's read there. He reads the defense's right inside linebacker and puts the ball in Zach Boyer's belly. And whatever the his first miss. He puts the ball in Zach Boyer's belly, and whatever the inside linebacker does is wrong. If he drops to defend the pass, he's going to give it to Zach on the run, and if he comes forward to stop the run, he's going to pull it and hit Brett on the slant. You get one-on-one coverage on the backside because, again, Perryville would walk their safety over to go man coverage on the trip side. Good play design, good route, good throw.
Gonna run Zach back out there to kick this one off again.
Again, 27-14. This is St. Jen's doing it. They've had the ball 4 times. They've scored 4 touchdowns, but they need to get a stop. They've last 2 possessions Perryville scored.
Correct.
Yeah, you know your offense is doing a great job. Now it's time for your defense to step up and get a stop and let your offense get a 3 touchdown.
We got a boot into that one, but it's going to end up out of bounds. Legal procedure gives them a chance to take the ball. What is it, the 30 or so, Coach Cherry?
35, it appears. Tough part for St. John here is they went with their 4-3 cover 0, and Perryville torched them throwing the ball. Then last possession they went with a 3-man front. Perryville threw the ball once, had success on the screen, but had some success running the ball.
Perryville, same formation. Looks like they really haven't got out of it much so far this entire game.
And they won't.
Again, quarterback pulls it there and runs, and boy, we got a little bit better job wrapping up.
Yeah, it appeared we stopped the dive back on the midline. It looked like we had a good job, had somebody responsible for the quarterback and just missed the tackle. That was a good play, though. They had their motion back as the pitch back, so quarterback had that true triple option as well.
Brings up 1st and 10 again for Perryville. He pulls it. Has options out here. Looks like it was covered. Good job there by Peyton Matthews to come up. Looks like Kobe Hatfield coming to finish him off.
Again, just the same midline the other way with the motion back as the pitch back. St. John, excellent job keeping their responsibility. Took the dive back, took the quarterback, and then Matthews and Hatfield were there for the pitch back.
Pitch out to 47. Well, they sniffed that out real easy there, didn't they, Coach Sherry?
Inside linebacker came pursuing, forcing him to the sideline. Then Kyle Kiefer was playing corner up there. He did a good job coming in, getting low. That's again, we don't have heights and weights for the Perryville ball carriers, but
he's a good sized boy.
The ball carrier that time for Perryville was significantly larger than Kiefer, and the way to combat that is get to his shins. Most of our defenders' bodies are bigger than their shins, and if you get low on them, you're going to win. Reverse.
Reverse coming out here. Initially sniffed out. Well, it's going to be close. Looks like they mark him at about the St. Genevieve 45. Going to bring down 1 yard, 4th and 1 here. Again, I think they're at the part of the field you definitely go for it.
Good play call there. Perryville, they like we said, they have one formation. It looks like they have 2. Little trick formation here. They're not sure what it is, though.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, right over here, they're uncovered on this end, if I'm not mistaken.
They're a legal formation. They're going to run speed option down here.
If I'm not mistaken, help me out, but 67 here wasn't covered on this left side. So
he doesn't have to be.
He doesn't have to be?
No.
Okay.
He just can't go out for a pass.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you would call that formation. You want to give it a shot?
It's just 4 right unbalanced, and you're trying to what I would think they were trying to do is get St. John's corners to flip the field and go cover the quads on the other side and probably try to run speed option this way. Matthews didn't St. John's corners are rarely going to trade sides of the field. That's just not part of their defense. And even though they have 4 guys over there, only 3 of them are eligible because one of them is covered up by the end man on the line of scrimmage. So you need 4 over there in case they would run a screen at you, because if you only put 3, they can block 3. But you don't need your corner to go all the way over there.
Right.
St. John or Perryville run the same formation after St. John has time to adjust to it.
Fourth and 1 here for for Perryville. Sorry. Going to go up the middle, but they are going to get the first down. Good discipline there, like you said, by St. Genevieve, right side of the line, but did get just enough for the first down. Move the change.
Yeah, they didn't. Perryville wasn't looking for a big play out of it. They were looking for 4 or so feet. They got it. They're going to stay in this formation. I don't know how many plays they could have out of it. St. John doesn't need to get freaked out by it. You can keep a relatively heavy box. St. John still got 7 defenders to Perryville's 6 blockers over here.
He's open again, just over the outside shoulder.
Yeah, I don't think that's a wrinkle Perryville has shown, but it's a good little formation for a few plays, but you're not going to have a lot of plays out of it. And
Right.
it's something that you wouldn't normally want to run in the first half. You'd try to like to save it for the second half so that St. John doesn't have time to adjust to it at halftime.
Back to their 2x2s.
Yeah, this is where they're. This is definitely where they're the most comfortable.
Pass incomplete.
Flag on the sideline.
Yeah,
I think St. John may have gotten a personal foul late hit on that.
They did. And again, I'm not afraid to say that was pretty weak.
Yeah, you don't. I didn't see the hit, but you'd like to tell your kid, you know, we like the effort, but the quarterback's running backward, throwing the ball. We don't need to hit him there. There's literally nothing good that's going to come of it. Yeah, I didn't get a number on the St. John player on that one.
So it does move the chains for Perryville. Going to bring up into St. Genevieve territory, 1st and 10 from the St. Genevieve 30 after they mark off the 15.
That was a big penalty because St. John had him coming up with a 3rd and 10 there, set him up at 1st and 10, definitely 4-down territory inside the 30, and now they're looking at 2nd and 4.
You know, they run that option there, and again, you've said it when you look at the size of the guys across their offensive line and across our defensive line, and you know, they just push each other, and this time they're able to gain 7 yards or so, and you know, that's going to be where their bread is buttered. I think they could do that all night if we stay in that 3-man front.
And you have an offense like this, it doesn't have a lot of plays. You're going to have some motion out of it. You're going to have some Q inside zones like that, and you're going to have your midline stuff. But when you don't have a lot of plays, your offensive line is usually going to be pretty sound at what they do because a lot of downhill stuff, a lot of down blocking. So they don't have to be real confused because there's not a lot of things to think about. This is a big one for St. John.
Yeah.
1st and 10 here, about the 14. If they could get a stop, you know, that'd be huge. But if they allow Perryville to score and then St. John doesn't score, Perryville's getting the ball coming out in the second half. That's not where you want to be if you're St. John.
Yeah, it looks like this time they do give it to 33, and he makes a quick cut there, cut inside. Looks like he's going to gain about 6 yards or so. It's pretty quick with the ball.
And we can see we got Perryville stats, and like we talked about at the opening of the broadcast, how many carries they had spread between about 6 different guys, and we can definitely see why that is. They're not afraid to give it to both their slot receivers and then their quarterback and their running backs. They share the load.
This time again, they do a handoff up the middle. Good job there by Austin Bullock and company. Looks like him and was that Peyton Matthews in on that a little bit too.
They're bumping, they're pulling Matthews and put another lineman in. St. John's going to go to their 4 or 5 man front here and try to take away the inside run.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
A lot of times you will go cover 0 down on the goal line. Looks like that's what St. John's going to do.
Quarterback keeps it this time right up the middle, following his lead. Looks like it's going to end up being a little bit short, bringing up about a 4th and maybe a little less than 1, close to 1.
Yeah, I think you're right. It looks like 4th and about a foot. This is the what I always hated about being a spread team and why we liked going with under center stuff. You're 4th and a foot, and you're snapping the ball back to a person 5 yards.
Yeah.
So instead of having to get 1 foot, you're having to get 16 feet. It's like, be real nice to go under center here and just run a sneak. He got it.
I do believe he got it. It's going to set up a 1st and goal for Perryville. They brought the backers up there pretty quick to try to load it up, and they just found the right hole, went right behind the right guy, and gained what little bit they needed.
Kobe Hatfield came on a blitz from the backside there, and I don't know if the quarterback saw him, but if he would have pulled, it would have been about a 4-yard loss. I don't know exactly if St. John had designed that blitz with that play in mind, but it nearly worked out well for St. John.
2.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Looks like Perryville will take a timeout. You mentioned it early about the timing of the game. Here we're at 2:27 left in the half. They're about ready to punch it in. Not going to leave a lot of time for St. Genevieve if they do end up scoring. You want to try to hold them out of the end zone. And they do get the ball. Perryville does get the ball to start the second half.
Good thing for St. John, they've got 2 timeouts. Optimally, you want to hold them, but St. John or Perryville's got 3 shots from looks to be about the 3-yard line right here. So if they do happen to score in the first or second play, St. John's going to have time, and they got 2 timeouts left. And with St. John's offense, they're not going to have a problem running a hurry up. That's something that Coach White likes to do at least once a week, is go through hurry up with sometimes with verbal signals, sometimes with hand signals. But you cut down on your offensive playbook. You've usually got about 5 to 7 plays that you want to stick with. Limit your formations and just get on the ball and run them quick. So if St. John does give up a touchdown here, I would not be surprised to see them score before the end of the half.
Sweep out here to 10. Looks like he's going to ended up a little bit short.
That's kind of more of a hindrance to St. John than a help, because now you're putting him on the 6-inch line.
So Jesse Kemper flew up, made that tackle just before getting in.
Yeah, it's great. Jesse's shoulder looks like it might be hurt. Again, we're talking about Perryville. They're 6 inches from the end zone, but they're going to snap the ball to the 5.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for St. John, the clock's running. Bad play call.
Well, it looks like they do lose probably about 2 yards there.
That's as bad. That's as bad a play call as you can have for Perryville. They not only lost 2 yards, but they stopped the clock. So if they do score, they're going to leave St. John more time, and now they've put themselves in a bad position to score when they were literally a hand's length from the end zone.
3rd and 3, 3rd and goal here from the 3. Again, coming in motion. Quarterback pulls it, keeps it. and does get into the end zone. So with 1:34, Perryville does score their third touchdown to pull it within 7 points.
No replay on that. We're not NFL or college, but there was replay on that one. That one might get overturned. I think his knee may have been down before the ball crossed the plane, but you and I are 60 yards from the play, and that guy was like 12 yards from him, so he's probably got a little better view than we, I guess.
He may have a little.
But 1:34 left. St. John has shown the ability to get good field position off all these kickoffs. So not sure what Perryville is going to try to do on their kickoff. They've tried kicking it deep.
That one does go through to pull them within 6 of St. Genevieve, 27-21 with 1:34 to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, they've tried kicking it deep. They went with a pooch kick, and then they went with a squib kick, and St. John's had good returns on all 3 of them. So I don't know what they're going to do here, but you would think that St. John's probably going to emerge with pretty good field position.
Yeah, I don't know what else you got. Kick one really high and, have them fair catch it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you can kick it out of bounds and give it to him on the 35, but if you do that, St. John's probably going to make you re-kick it until you decide you're not going to kick it out of bounds. Because if you do that, you're not going to run any time off the clock. Like we said, St. John, they've practiced their 2-minute offense, and really when they go with their NASCAR, it's a 2-minute offense anyway. Everything's fast, so basically you cut down on your play sheet, run the stuff that you're real comfortable with. You're going to have plays that you want to run against this defense in particular, and would not be surprised at all to see St. John get another one on the board before halftime or a field goal attempt.
Well, there you go.
I think they're going to try somebody else over here. Coming this way on the kickoff.
Well, St. Genevieve will take over. That ball was fielded on a squib kick there by 56. I'm not sure who that is.
I think that was Dale Probst on the fielding that ground ball, and that's
a good job there.
Again, interesting strategy. Not only do you give them great field position, but you only run 2 seconds off the clock in doing so. St. John with 2 timeouts here. Let's see how they want to handle this.
The play took a long time there to develop. Logan rolled out left. Ended up finding Peyton for a gain of about, let's call it 8 yards.
Yeah, he had Beezer and he wanted to get him, but he couldn't quite get his shoulders turned and throw the deep ball like he wanted to.
Oh, don't want to do that.
They went to that, looked like they went to that little RPO. And corner did a good job of just staying deep. He knows there that St. John's got a minute left. He can give up short plays. His main responsibility there is not to get beat over the top. So the corner did a good job of saying, I'll give you the slant. And then it looked like he had some help with safety and an inside linebacker dropping.
Perryville got just under a minute left, and they come in and hit that inside. And it looks like some of those guys are just pretty tough to tackle, too.
Well, and they do a good job running these, but this is real risky for Perryville. They don't have any timeouts, and this is not something they specialize in. This is pretty scary for Perryville because this would be a good time for them to turn the ball over, either an interception or a fumble from a QB pressure, something like that.
Oh, man.
That's kind of what we were talking about. That's not Perryville's forte. That's not something they specialize in offensively, is 2-minute offense. Now Perryville's got third and 4, and St. John's got a timeout left. If they get a stop here, St. John will probably call timeout. And if knowing Perryville needs to punt, I would think you'd put punt block on and try to make something happen before halftime if you can get a stop with this play.
23 seconds to go here in the half.
Yeah, you don't have to call timeout.
Brings up a 4th and 4. With where they're at, I mean, I know I would probably punt here. Try to make them go the distance instead of giving them the ball here if something happens and doesn't work out, especially with a timeout left.
Well, Perryville, if you don't get it, you're only going to run about 4 seconds. They are going to line up and punt here.
Oh, right into his hands. Set.
Clayton Kreitler. And that's one where great play by Kreitler coming off the edge. Clayton Kreitler, big strong kid, and coming off the edge with a running back trying to protect for the punter. That's one where I don't understand why you wouldn't line up and safe punt and tell the kid just catch the ball and get rid of it as quickly as possible.
Absolutely. You're almost to go into halftime, and I'm just not sure.
You're going into halftime down 27-21 and getting the ball to start the second half. If you just tell your kid, catch the ball, punt it, get rid of it as quickly as possible.
I don't know. Looks like you've got the officials all huddled here trying to make a decision on something here.
You can most definitely return a punt. That is not a muff, so there's no questioning that's a touchdown.
Is that an unsportsmanlike call?
I think that's an unsportsmanlike conduct on one of the Perryville players. I don't know if St. John looks like they're going for 2 here. I would think they'd take it on the try if they're going to go power I, so they'd get it on the yard and a half, get it on the 1.5 yard line.
Looks like Coach White 8 seconds ago. He's going to call that timeout, I think.
Yeah, you want it on the extra point. You don't need to worry about the kickoff because there's only 8 seconds left, especially if you're going to line up in power I. Awesome play that we haven't really talked. I mean,
yeah.
Great play by Kreitler.
He just kept coming, and the guy almost punted into him.
Yeah, it looked like the kid was contemplating throwing, and then by the time he made his decision to punt, Kreitler was right on top of him, and then what skill, effort, a lot of things go into that play, but then a lot of luck too.
Yeah, it bounced right up to him. Yeah.
It almost bounced like a basketball. It was so perfect for him.
Yeah, and again, Clayton, pretty good athlete, and he may have had the chance to scoop and score, but when it jumps up into your hands, it just makes it even easier.
Yeah, you're right. Clayton, he's offensive tackle, but he's if they line up and race, Clayton would probably be one of the top 10, 12 kids on St. John's team. Once his momentum was going that way, he wasn't going to get caught by a lot of kids.
Good run there by Austin Bullock for the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, St. John, Perryville adjusted to it. They knew what they were going to come out in, and St. John said, yeah, we're running power right at you. And Perryville had this side overloaded. St. John, if they come back to it, I wouldn't be surprised to see them come with with a boot weak, something creative like that, because once the team starts overloading to the power back side, you can hit them with the weak side pretty easy.
You go deep here, you squib it. What do you do, Coach Jerry? What's your call?
I wouldn't go deep. St. John does a pretty good job. I would say Boyer will probably line up and kick it toward
the sideline a little bit.
Perryville's sideline. He's going to land it on about the 35 and let the St. John's got 6 guys on the left side of their kickoff team. He'll try to land it on about the 35 near Perryville's sideline and let those guys just run down and make the play.
St. Genevieve, number 6, Zach Boyer.
I lied to you.
Oh,
Perryville time number 20.
Perryville will have 7 seconds. Wow, 1 second. I guess it's got to be touched.
Oh, 1 second ran
Went
off.
Yeah,
Yeah, by the time he dove on it, he was down.
yeah.
I don't know that Perryville's got a lot of 79-yard plays in their playbook.
They may just take a knee here. He's under center, Coach Sherry, and that's what they're going to do.
I would say that was a safe bet after they kind of didn't make the best decision on the punt. They did make the best decision there.
So St. Genevieve will go into the locker room at halftime, up 35-21. Boy, this is we've had some scoring.
I expected St. Gen to be able to put up points. I didn't know that they'd put 35 up in the first half. But I didn't anticipate Perryville scoring 21 in the first half either.
Right.
So it's unlike the Cardinal game. We got a little offense.
Yeah. So I think now what we'll do is getting ready for the homecoming festivities. Coach Sherry and I are going to take a little break, but we might leave our headphones on here and give you an opportunity to listen to some of the homecoming court and making the decision of who's the homecoming queen for St. Genevieve. And so we'll step away and try not to bug you too much so you can listen for a little while and be back to bring you the second half. And right before it, we'll probably get Coach Sherry to give you a little bit of the stats that he does have.
Coach Toombs put me on the spot here. I haven't even added these up. We did miss the first drive.
Right.
So these are pretty rough. Gegg, I got 5 carries for about 26 yards. Boyer, 5 carries. We missed the first drive. He had about a 25-yard, it looked like, that first touchdown. 5 carries for 34 yards. Bullock, I may have missed some, but 1 for 1, I have him. Trollinger, 1 for 6, and then receiving the ball, Matthews, 1 for 8. Trollinger, 2 for 57. Beezer, 3 for 31. And Geck, I have at 6 for 9-ish with 2 touchdowns and an interception. I believe the touchdowns are correct. Boyer's got 1. Bullock has 1. Trollinger 1. And Beezer 1. And then Clayton Kreitler has the scoop and score touchdown at the end of the half.
Very good. All right, so as the band gets ready, again, we're going to step away, but we'll leave the mics on so you can listen. Hopefully you can hear at least a little bit of it, and we'll be back to bring you the second half.
At this time, we would like to introduce you to very special surrogates together. They are homecoming queens from previous years, and they will be assisting us in crowning this year's homecoming queen. Please direct your attention to the ladies standing in front of the bleachers. They are Miss Taylor Matthews from the class of 2019, Miss Amy Speaker Bowman from the class of 1981, Miss Emily Day Schooler from the class of 2004, Miss Lindsay Gray Buckner from the class of 2009, and Miss Paige Porter James from the class of 2014. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. And now, making her way across the field is last year's queen, Taylor Matthews. Taylor is the daughter of Brian and Amy Matthews. She's being supported by her father, Brian Taylor. Taylor is currently attending Southeast Missouri State and majoring in visual media marketing. She will represent the 2019 homecoming queen in Crown Her Shoulder. Representing the freshman class is Miss Lainey Miller. Lainey is the daughter of Dustin and Lainey, and is being escorted by her father, Dustin. Lainey plays volleyball for the SGHS freshman team. She's a part of FCA, Friends, and City Council. She enjoys the outdoors and hanging out with her friends. Lainey likes spending time with her dad, hunting and fishing, and loves shopping days with her mom. She likes hanging out with Jada, who she has looked up to since they were little girls, and she likes to make memories with Jada and have late night adventures with Taylor when she was home. Lainey loves high school and so far and cannot wait to make lots of more memories for years here at SGHS. Representing the sophomore class is Taylor Flynn. Taylor is the daughter of Mike and Amy Flynn and is being escorted by her father, Mike. Taylor is involved in sports. She did 1 year of volleyball and decided sports were not her thing. She's been involved in FCA for 2 years now. She loves being involved in spirit days and showing how great her school is. Haley's a big family person and she always tries to make time for everyone. One of her favorite things to do is make people laugh and smile. Haley loves her long days and late nights with her 2 favorite seniors, Skylar and Forrester and Jada Greminger, and the rides with the boys are always fun too. Haley moved to St. Genevieve about 5 years ago and she loves it here. High school's been great so far and she can't wait to see what the future has in store for her. Representing the junior class is Miss Adeline Taylor. Adeline is the daughter of Paul and Jada Taylor and is being escorted by her father, Paul. Addie is involved in student council, mentors, teach and debate, math team, and friends. She started golfing this year, and even though she doesn't think she's very good at it, she's had so much fun learning with all the girls who have become her second family. In her free time, she likes spending time with her family, especially her little sister, Ari. She loves spending the weekends with Emma, Tristan, Brianna, and Maddie, and making memories that will last. She also loves going to speech weekends with Sydney and Caitlin, and never knowing who crazy adventure they will go on next. She's excited to see what the rest of high school holds, and hopes to spend it with all of her best friends, making the most out of that week. Carrying the Queen's crown is Ella Schweiss, daughter of Kyle and Nicholas. Carrying the football autograph by the St. Genevieve Dragons varsity football team is Jonathan White, son of Ryan and Krista White. And now we would like to present to you the 2019 Homecoming Queen candidates. Escorting Miss Jocelyn Geisner, daughter of Jeff and Jolene Geisner, are her parents. Jeff and Josie has been involved in golf for 3 years, track for 4 years, wrestling manager for 2 years, a member of FCA for 4 years, Friends for 3 years, FCCLA for 2 years, SAB for 2 years, NAHS for 3 years, and SUCO for 2 years. She was nominated to attend Girls State, placed second twice in the variety show, and has received awards in drawing and painting. She loves going to see movies and taking late night cocktail trips with Nick and hanging out with Emily and Adrian. After school, she plans on using A+ to go to math, then SLU transfer to school. Josie wants to be an X-ray technician and minor in business to study art. Escorting Miss Jada daughter of Mark and Jeff's manager is her father, Mark. Jada has been in student council for 4 years, math club for 4 years, FCA for 4 years, NHS for 3 years, FCCLA for 2 years, and FCA for 1 year. Jada has also been a mentor for 2 years, a class officer for 4 years, and plays on a high school volleyball team. Jada spends all of her free time with her. loves going on adventures with Skylar and Bailey, constantly laughing with Maddie, taking smoothies to the romantic view, sleeping with Nolan and Peyton, and staying up all night with Chase, Austin, Landon, and Logan, and driving Lane, Drew, and Allie everywhere. After high school, Jada plans on going to college at Mizzou and double major in business and textile apparel and escorting Miss Julia McQuinn, daughter of Mark and Athena McQuinn, is her bottom line. Julia has been a part of the volleyball team for 4 years and the track team for 3 years. NHS for 3 years, so she currently is vice president. Stuka for 4 years, math team for 4 years, Spanish club for 3 years, FCA for 3 years, and Spirit Club for 2 years. She attended the Leadership and Practice Seminar and Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership Camp. Some of her greatest accomplishments include being in the top 10% of her class for 3 years and breaking the long jump record in track. What she will miss most about high school is getting ready for football games with Brittany, Molly, and Marissa, and all the get-togethers and mid-times. Julia's future plans are to go to college somewhere and get a degree in something, and then spend the rest of her life with her best friend, Toby Hack. Escorting Miss Ella Ray Reed, daughter of Kirk and Nikki Reed, is her father, Kirk. Ella is currently a member of Spirit Club, Mentors, NHS, and National Art Honor Society. She is class president, student council president, and varsity volleyball team captain. Her other hobbies include art, basketball, and track. She plans on attending Missouri State University next fall. Ella enjoys going on crazy adventures with nature, and being on Mario Kart, and having the best senior year with Megan and Matt. Escorting Miss Megan Schreiber, daughter of John Schreiber and Ken Brown, is her father, John. Megan is a member of the varsity volleyball team, student council, FCA, Mentors, FCA, and FCCA. She's a manager for boys basketball with her bestie team. She enjoys swimming in the locker room with the volleyball team and hanging out with her family and friends in her free time. She enjoys going on crazy adventures with Maggie, laughing constantly with Ella and Macy. She plans to attend Missouri State University after high school and studying psychology. Megan is trying to make every moment count in her last year. Escorting Miss Sierra Zerwig, daughter of Jason Zerwig and Dennis Burns, is being escorted by her parents. Sierra is currently a member of FCA, of the FCA Club, and has been for the past 2 years. She's also a member of staff for 2 years. She's made it through as many sporting events as possible as she could support the team in school. Sierra spends a lot of her time hanging with all of her close friends, painting, drawing, and playing volleyball outside of school. She loves to hang out with her brother and sees him, and she wanted to say to him that she loves him and that he is one of the most important people in her life. She said she's also very grateful that both of her parents could be here and help her with so much. She thinks it's very important for her family to be her team, and she's glad that they are here to support her. Her future plans are to go to Mineral Area College, become a phlebotomist, and share a dorm room with her kids. Would the freshman attendant, Lainey Yamitz, come forward to receive your school? Would sophomore class attendant, Kayla Cushy, come forward to receive your school? Would junior class attendant, Addie Taylor, come forward to receive your school? And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Who will reign as the 2019 FCHS Homecoming Queen? Would Megan Schreiber please come forward to receive your crown? Would Jada Derringer come forward to receive your crown? Would Sierra Zerwig come forward to receive your crown? Will Ella Reed please come forward to receive your crown? Will Julia McQuinn please come forward to receive your crown? 2019 Homecoming Queen, Miss Tracy Guy. And presenting her homecoming charm is Elizabeth Buck. Congratulations to all the members of the Team National Homecoming. Our homecoming queen is Bryce Cobb and the Team National
Round of applause for the St. Genevieve High School marching band and flag
Here, Grandma. Grandma. Can you hold this? Thank you.
Okay, get the tickets ready for the 50-50 drawing. Somebody's going to walk away with $313. Okay, here's the number 724-803, 724-803. Come to the announcers booth for your money, $313, 724-803.
All right, as we get ready to bring you the second half, teams are finishing warming up. Officials gathered at the midfield. Coach Sherry's going to bring you some games from around the area.
First one we got is Central leading Potosi at halftime 28-6. Battle of unbeatens, Jackson and Farmington tied at 7 in the third quarter. Halftime Hillsboro beating North County 22-16. Halftime DeSoto beating Fredericktown 13-6. In the third quarter, Festus 19, Windsor 0. And Valley Catholic beating Jefferson at halftime 31-6.
You know, that score of that Fredericktown game, you know, both of these two teams, well, Perryville, I think, has played both of those teams, and St. Genevieve has both of those teams still yet to come, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, DeSoto's been on a roll. They
beat Festus last week. Saw that.
They knocked off Festus, and that was the first time they'd beaten Festus in about over 15 years. Last year they got Hillsboro for the first time in something like 10 years, and then this year they got Festus. So yeah, they're definitely improving as a program, and like you said, St. John, I believe, has Fredericktown next week, probably DeSoto in 2 weeks, and then Perryville beat DeSoto in week 1. Big one. That big one is the Farmington-Jackson game. Really no ramifications for these two teams, but just probably the two best teams in the area, and
absolutely
showing that they're honestly a little more evenly matched than I thought they would be. I thought Jackson would be a little better than Farmington, but Farmington apparently comes at you with multiple backs, tough quarterback, run that option offense, and showing they're a legitimate Class 4 contender, I would think.
So come bring the second half. I'm going to do my best to try to do some broadcasting and do the game camera, so I'll probably be a lot quieter than normal. And Mateus kicks off to Perryville. 20 fields the ball, brings it up to about the 33-yard line, 32-yard line. That's where Perryville will start their first drive of the second half.
Like we talked about, that was just a huge play for St. John. Perryville had, although they were punting, they were set to have all the momentum coming out into halftime, down 27-21, and just a huge mistake by the punter to take a few too many steps and then get the ball, get the punt block. Clayton Kreidler, big recovery, and a scoop and score. Don't see a lot of those, but good play for Clayton, and now Perryville finds themselves 2 scores down instead of 1.
So Perryville starts in their 2x2 set, same formation they've had most of the game. Runner in motion, quarterback reads it, keeps the ball, pitches out that time, the big hole. Looks like they're gonna bring it up close to midfield there and gain themselves probably close to 15 yards. Sorry if I'm a little behind on the camera trying to watch and do both.
Perryville's quarterback, Evan Doherty, he does a really good job of riding that dive fake on the midline, and we've seen him run that play 3 or 4 times tonight. They just motion the slot receiver back as the pitch back, and he rides the dive fake. He rides it about as long as you can ride it, makes St. John make a decision, and once he makes up his mind, he pulls and attacks the next defender. He does a good job running this offense.
Perryville 1st and 10 right at midfield. Catch the ball. That gets blown up right there. That's the way you read that one right there. I don't know who that was, came through there. Hit the quarterback just as he made. Is that 53 there?
That was Evan Walker. And it's just assignment football. That's just an option as well. It's the same path. It's the same blocking scheme. It's just different paths. When the quarterback's making his read there, he becomes the inside runner, and the motion guy's the outside runner. So if St. John has assigned their defensive end as the outside path, his responsibility is tackle the guy who's going outside, which Evan Walker did.
Boy, he's made 2 really good plays there in a row. You know, talk about Evan. There, again, he's playing on that front line. Looks almost like a D end right there. But you're talking about a kid that's, a state class hurdler in track. You know, he doesn't have a lot of beef on him, but he's got that quickness, and he used it the past 2 plays.
Well, that's a midline away, and he actually ran it down and tackled the quarterback from the backside. Evan's probably about 195, but I mean, he's a legit 270 power cleaner, legit 280 bench presser. He's a specimen.
And at assembly today did some backflips. So some athleticism.
Did you hit any backflips today at the assembly?
I did not. I nearly fell out the back of my chair once, if that counts.
Like I said, I was in ISS, so they didn't ask me to do any.
There they made the pass look like. I thought we were a little early on it. No flag, though.
Yeah, I don't know if they deemed that uncatchable or not. That was pass interference.
Another punt here. Let's see how this goes. He does get it away that time. It's going to carry out of bounds. I anticipate we're going to get the ball somewhere around the 22-yard line or so. That's
all it would have taken at the end of the first half. Catch it, take a step or two, get it away, kick it out of bounds, and you're looking good. St. John did exactly what they needed to do there. Get the stop. Now you come out, put one on the board, go up 3 scores, reclaim the momentum, start trying to put this thing to bed.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we get another score here. I anticipate we maybe see a lot more run, make that clock run a little bit more. Just a stop right there by Peyton Matthews.
Good decision by Brett Beezer. Jesse Kemper. Matthews, good throw and catch from Gegg to Matthews, but there was potentially more yardage there if Jesse had tried to be aggressive and get a block, but he was smart. He probably would have blocked him in the back.
Well, yeah, I thought the same thing there whenever he was going to make that block and then he pulled up. I was like, man, that's really a wise decision there. Let's take the 5 yards instead of the penalty.
Perryville looked like they've tightened down there in their 5-man front instead of their 3. They're going to try to take away the run.
Looks like we're going to lose about 4 yards, 3 yards on that one, let's call it. Bring down a 3rd down and probably, let's call it 8 for St. Genevieve. See what Coach Bosler reaches into the playbook here. Don't know that right here we're in 4-down territory unless we're talking really short on 4th.
Yeah, maybe if you get 4th and 1, you get to your power I, but I'd say you're trying to pick up the 1st down right here because probably a punting situation.
There's a throw and catch there by Jesse Kemper, but it's going to bring up that short we talked about. So.
Yep, that was that little zone play St. John likes to run. I don't know if it's they call it dig or they call it bench, but they're the St. John offense, they're kids and they're aggressive and they're wanting St. John to go power I and go for it. And Coach White's trying to decide if he wants to think with his head or his heart.
Well, and, there's one that Logan puts a little more air on it. Jesse had some time to run there. He just, again, threw it a little bit short, and Jesse had to go down and catch it. Oh, good throw there. Sorry if I didn't get it on camera. In and out of the hands of Beezer, Brett Beezer. I think he definitely tried to do a little with that before he caught it. But, we just had a really, really good stop there on defense, and time to do it again. You give them a short field, but it's time to see what adjustments we made at halftime make a difference.
St. John ran the scrum there, and that's just a read play for the quarterback, and he got a little I think he made the right read, and like you said, Brett was on the sideline, and there wasn't really anything to do, but it looked like he was almost turning his head instead of just looking it in and fall down and get the 1st down.
Perryville in that 2x2. Looks like they out here to the right, 27. Going to pick up a good, let's call it 6 yards. Be 2nd there and 4. They just flood that side and make that pass. And every time I see it, Coach Sherry, it looks a little more dangerous. Looks like there's a St. John kid right there close. If he's not blocked, that's could possibly be a knockdown or pick 6.
Yeah, they're St. John looks to be in their 3 again. They've got bodies out there, and like you said, they're having success with it. He got 7 yards, but I'm with you. Eventually, it's going to get batted in the air. It's going to get picked.
There's that read, reverse here, sniff that out. He cuts inside, makes a pretty good move, but then stacked up for no gain, maybe a loss of 1.
Yeah, handoff to Dawson Camden. He's the kid that's got 4 receiving touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns. He's a good player for him. Hit him once with it in the first half and had a good play call. That time, St. John had 2 guys waiting on the backside.
Yeah, I thought he made a really good cut to not lose even more, honestly.
Agreed.
Sprint right.
It's a hold.
Deciding he keeps the ball, and becomes really, really tough to bring down. Going to get a first down, bring it inside the 20-yard line to about, what is that, probably the 14, 13-yard line. So where Perryville continue their drive on a 1st and 10.
Yeah, that was almost like speed option solid. They blocked the defensive end in St. John's 3, which was Clayton Kreitler, and block is using a nice term. I would say they held Clayton Kreitler, and once he got the edge, he just turned his shoulders upfield and picked up the first.
And Perryville into the end zone for the score. That's number 11 there. I don't have my glasses on.
Number 11, Ethan Moran, another just one of their slot receivers. It's kind of like an old wishbone offense in the fact that it's just an option offense spread out. I mean, they're going to run midline, they're going to run veer, they're going to run speed option, and instead of having 3 guys in the backfield with their hands on the ground, they just got
did not go.
A back behind the quarterback, and then the slot receivers, which are essentially running backs as well. It's a pretty savvy little offense, and it's kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, and it's worked. I mean, call it what it is. It's worked. And
their donations are greatly appreciated by the faculty, staff, administration, and students at St. Genevieve R2. The assistants are St. Genevieve County Memorial Hospital, Williams Element, and Antonia Laboratory, Folsom, St. Genevieve.
all right, Perryville to kick off the St. Genevieve. This time it's going to be fielded here again by Peyton. Running to the left side. Got a couple lead blockers if he can get around the edge. And he brings it up near the midfield again. Looks like it's going to be St. Gen will start there at about the 46, their own 46-yard line. Give themselves 54 yards to pay dirt. We've had really good field position, that's for sure.
St. Gen, off of kickoffs, I don't think St. Gen has started a drive inside their 40. That time, Perryville kind of tried a different style of kick, and again, it was not very successful.
Looks like Logan's going to go right up the middle again. Good run there. A good 11 yards for the first down.
Yeah, he just looked like a little inside zone play there. Faked the pass out to Zach Boyer, who went in motion and just ran looked to be, I think it was inside zone. It may have been a little counter play.
Trips right again for St. Genevieve. Zach Boyer in the backfield with Logan Gagg at quarterback. This time Bryce Trollinger comes back into the backfield with him. A little different wrinkle. He's going to lead block as Logan tries to catch the corner here. Looks like he tucks inside. Going to get a few on it. Looks like we're going to gain probably half of what it takes. So gain about 5 there.
St. Gen just motioning Bryce back. Direct snap to Logan, and yeah, I mean, they're basically running old school sweep just out of shotgun, direct snap to the quarterback, getting another lead blocker out there in front of him. And, you know, to some people, it wasn't a real good play. Well, 2nd and 5 is pretty good down and distance as a play caller.
Absolutely. Lots of things in the book for that. They're a little bit of a bad snap. Zach does a good job to at least try to pick it up and do something with it. But, not sure what happened there. Just didn't quite get to the quarterback, or maybe it was a direct snap to Zach there with double lead, but didn't quite get to him.
Yeah, it was just they motioned Bryce Challenger over to the other side. They were going to direct snap it to Zach Boyer, but it looked like it kind of looked like it stuck to the center's hand, didn't it?
Yeah. Logan sprints left, looks for an opening. Looks like overshot the receiver, but found a white jersey who did a good job to catch that one. Perryville will take over after the interception right at their own 32-yard line.
They ran that, St. John ran their sprint into their trips. It's, like I said, it's a little dig play or bench. One of those two plays St. John calls, and basically the outside receiver just sits in the open zone. He had Brett Bees in the open zone, just didn't quite get his shoulder squared away and squared up and threw it behind him.
Here again, this time 33 up the middle. It's almost, 11 yards, and I'm not sure what's going on other than they got some beef up front, but those guys are running through some of those tackles. Those guys got to refocus a little bit, tackle a little bit better, wrap up a little bit more. And, you can't be giving up 11 yards on a run play right up the middle.
Well, that's the way they rotate carries between the quarterback and the all three of the kids they give the ball to. They stay fresh, too.
Again, 11 cuts up the middle. That time meets some resistance, but still gets 4 yards out of it. Maybe 5.
That's Ethan Moran, and yeah, that's the other thing. St. John just had Perryville just had the touchdown drive. I'm sorry, and now you give them the ball back relatively quickly, and they're leaning on your D line, and the white jerseys are feeling confident and feeling fresh, and the gray jerseys are kind of on their heels, feeling tired.
This time, quarterback's going to keep again right up the middle. Gains another, let's call it 3 yards, close to 4. Going to be real close to a first down again, Coach.
Yeah, he got a kind of a favorable spot there. It was where he kind of ended up laying down instead of where he was down. And he's either going to have a first down or it's going to be 4th and inches.
So it's going to be third there.
3rd inches, I'm sorry. Not sure. Yeah, I guess the referee, you can tell it's a little short, can't you?
3rd and 3 takes the ball, hesitates, finds a hole, gains 3 yards. Going to be a first down again for Perryville. I saw that time, they pulled a backer out, ran a big body in there to kind of get some meat up front. But, again, those guys find a little hole, turn their shoulders, and get 2 or 3 on the lean when you got that kind of line in front of you.
Yeah, St. John's got 4 defensive linemen in. I can't tell if they're in a 4 or they're walking Jesse Kemper up into a 5. No, they're just in their traditional 4-2 defense.
Sweep out here to the left. Bryce Challenger flies up and makes an initial hit on him. Sorry if you missed that. But still, again, probably close to 5 yards on that.
They're getting chunks. You can tell the St. John defense getting a little tired. Amazingly, Perryville with all their motion, those kids don't get tired. But again, they're just wrote 34, Aladdin Garris, another kid. I don't think we've seen him at all. He's a sophomore. So those guys that are going in motion, if they rotate them in and out, they're going to stay fresh.
That time St. John sniffed that out. He was on the read option, and it wouldn't have mattered who he gave that ball there to. It was stacked up by that line and the linebackers there.
Yeah, the St. John's 3 technique there. It looks like it was Luke Terry. It's really easy. It's a really easy assignment. The guard's right in front of you, and he's going to try to cross your face, and your job is to get hands on him and not let him cross your face. And if he does, tackle the guy who's coming at you.
Right.
And then once you tackle him, the linebacker's responsibility is to tackle the quarterback if he pulls it.
Ball on the ground. Ooh, and St. John initially had it and could have had it. I'm not sure if they ended up falling on it or not. Looks like Christian Hale comes out with the ball. That was a read option that I think he just waited a little too long, and back maybe knocked it out of his hand. It was laying there for a second.
Well, it's amazing as much as they run that, especially out of shotgun, that I think that's the first fumble they've had, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And as long as he rides it, it's amazing they haven't fumbled more. But, I mean, that can happen because the running back's, he's clamping down on it, and as far as he knows, he's got the ball. And, you know, if he clamps extra hard and the quarterback tries to pull, that's what's going to happen.
Again, Logan up the middle for about a 3-yard gain. You know, and I don't know, are those called, or are those reads by Logan to keep, or?
I don't know if he's reading a linebacker to see what he's going to do on the running back when he motions out, or if he's just running a hard inside zone on what St. John deems to be a light box. But right now, Perryville's giving them a heavy box. They've got 5 defensive linemen and 2 linebackers, and which is leaving St. John in cover 0, or Perryville in cover 0 defensively. You know, that's a defense that St. John should be able to throw on.
Well, that seemed to be a really, really, really quick quarter there, but there's the end of the third quarter. We're going to take a quick little break here, give you a commercial, and be back to bring you the fourth quarter.
In 1963, Fleeg's Equipment was founded as a family-owned and operated business in St. Genevieve, where it remains to this day, selling exceptional equipment such as Case IH, Hustler Turf, Vermeer, Cub Cadet, Massey, and many more, helping with all your family and lawn needs. Service from the time you enter the door or pick up the phone is taken to heart.
At Fleeg's Farm Equipment, we ask that you let our family
Serve your family.
go Dragons.
In 1963, Fleeg's Equipment was founded as a family-owned and operated business in St. Genevieve, where it remains to this day, selling exceptional equipment such as Case IH, Hustler Turf.
All right, back to bring you the fourth quarter here.
As you stated, that was an exceptionally fast third quarter.
Logan gagged good pass to Peyton Matthews for 11 there to get the first down and continue to move the ball.
Yeah, if Perryville continues to show this 5-2, they're going to force St. John into throwing the ball, and if they want to play their safeties 8-12 yards off St. John's slot receivers, then St. John's they're going to have success throwing short, quick routes, because those D linemen aren't going to get home that quick.
All right, same formation for St. Genevieve. Zach Boyer in the backfield. Sprints out here, options to Zach. Tries to get around the edge. Oh, man. How? I'm not sure how you call that.
Yeah, if they're going to call block in the back, and if you're an offensive player and you're going to get called for blocking the back, I'd get your money's worth, because that was ticky-tack. Brett was there, but I didn't see any contact.
Well, there's about 3 other officials that are right there, and that came from, I don't know what, is that called the back judge?
It came from about 25 yards away.
Yeah, I mean, he Jack Flaherty'd that one to get it to where he thought the play was a block in the back. I'm not sure, maybe the side judges weren't paying attention, he thought, but
yeah, that was a questionable call, to say the least.
Brings up a long first down here.
Good thing about St. John's offense, compared to some offenses, 1st and 25 is a manageable down and distance for them. A team like Potosi, who's got the ground and pound offense, they get 1st and 25. It's almost impossible. Even at second long, St. John, they can hit two 2 decent pass plays and either be in position to go for it on 4th or pick up the first.
Yeah, Logan had a receiver there, and it was going to be a big play, and I think that was 59 there in the middle. Does the kicking also knock that down?
Yeah, that's, D lineman. You try to get to the quarterback, and if you can't get to the quarterback, you get your hands up. Did a good job getting one of his big hands in the way and knocking it down.
Direct snap to Zach. Got a bunch of lead blockers. He's going to try to get around the end. Perryville does a good job to sniff that out and just push him sideline to sideline. Flag now. Not sure what that was about.
It's gonna be a big penalty either way.
See what the call is. It's a dead ball foul. Personal foul against us.
Yeah, that's a killer. I mean, if it was Perryville, it was going to set up about a 3rd and 9. Now that it's St. John, it's going to set up about a 3rd and 40-ish. See what Coach Bowser's got in the playbook. I'm guessing a little counter or a screen.
Let's just call it a 3rd and forever.
That's appropriate. You're going to have to count a lot of 5s to figure out how far it is.
I'm no math teacher. That one in and out of the hands there of Peyton Matthews, and I anticipate that we will punt here.
Yeah, that's a play call where you're just trying to get 10, 12 yards. I mean, you realistically are not going to pick up that distance with one play. Try to hit a screen out here, pick up some yards, and get your team back in a good field position game. Because right now you get a mediocre punt, and this kid catches it in the air. They're setting up shop about the 35.
Good punt away by Logan. They're going to field it about the 41. Get inside, got him wrapped up a little bit. Doesn't get a lot out of it. They're going to start on their side of midfield, but not a whole lot on their side.
That was an excellent punt. Not a ton of hang time, but he got off about a 40-yarder, I believe, which high enough to give his punt team time to get down there, and that's about as good as you can hope for there.
Here you got to really bow your back a little bit, try to get a stop here. You don't want to see Perryville go down and make this, a 2-point conversion away from tying it up.
Yeah, I think Perryville's going to try to stick to what they do. They may try to lull St. John to sleep and try to hit one of these kids deep, but they're in 4-down territory, knowing they don't know how many more possessions they're going to have. Nice catch. They don't know how many more possessions they're going to have, and knowing they've got to score and get a 2-point conversion.
Well, and there's one of those, and again, it's they say flag on the play.
I think it's going to be another late hit on St. John. They had the kids stacked up, and the whistle was blown, and one of the St. John defensive players just came running in and hit the pile. Really didn't need to. Not a very smart play. Not a real. It's kind of a ticky-tack call too.
Yeah, it's wow. Coach White's definitely not happy. I saw it too, but I did not see anything blatant about it. It wasn't even that late, and he ran into his own guy.
Yeah,
that's pitiful. I'm just going to call it what it is.
I would give it, smart play, no. Illegal play, also no, I would think.
Yeah. Coach Weiss never had me do this again, and that's okay, but wow. Again, on the sideline over there, and I'm sure somebody's in his ear too. It's easy to throw those when you got them yelling.
St. John, they've got to be smarter. They know these guys have got the quick trigger with their flags. They've got, if you want to hit somebody, hit him while he's going forward, but don't keep pushing him while he's going backward.
Yeah. Bottle that one up for a 1-yard gain. Perryville will have a 2nd and 9. Motion right. Again, they fake it.
And
The pass, they're going to look to run him down. He gets the pass away into the ground.
Yeah, they were trying to set up a pump. They've hit that motion to the and then to the little bubble route to the slot receiver. And number 10 down here at the bottom, Dawson Camden, their leading receiver on the night, he was supposed to have a go route, and he didn't get the play. He was blocking the corner.
Yeah, he was blocking and never turned around.
That's frustrating as a quarterback, knowing you got a play that could be a big play, and you go to throw the deep ball and you see nothing
Perryville
but
sorry, Coach.
nothing
Four
but
down
the
territory.
receiver blocking.
Again, incomplete.
That second down play call, that's also it's a real risky play call with this offense. Your 3rd and 9 or your 2nd and 9, you've got an offense that's designed to get 3 yards of play, and you try taking a shot and set yourself up at 3rd and 9 and get yourself behind the sticks, and all of a sudden you're 4th and 9. That's, I don't know, not kind of a questionable time for that play call.
Yeah, for here, 4th and 9 for Perryville. Motion left. Again, he's pulling it. Pushing back. We got 2 down there. Surely somebody can knock it down, and they do. And I apologize, I didn't follow the camera. That was my fault. But it was knocked down. It was a good play back there. Looks like it's that Peyton Matthews and Bryce Trollinger.
No, it was the corner down here is Kyle Kiefer.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in man coverage on number 10. That's Dawson Camden, their go-to guy again. And then, like you said, Bryce Trollinger came over the top, and he was able to get hands on it and knock it away. It was a good play by Kiefer to be in good position with him, and then Bryce to come over the top.
Here's where you really got to just start running down their throats. Get your first down after first down. Let that clock wind down.
Well, you just got to take what they're going to give you. This time they've bumped their defensive end out again over your trips. So you got to know, are we going to be able to run it? If not, we're going to have to throw it, but we got to get some first downs.
Right.
You'd like to run it, but if it's simply in vain, it's not worth it then.
Logan there with sacked with a loss of probably nearly 5, let's call it. So it's going to bring down again, long 2nd down here.
Yeah, that was a zone play, and it's designed to read the defensive end to the defense's right. Well, unfortunately, the defensive end down here was walked out over the trips, and the defensive end to the play side was staying home. So Perryville just had numbers over St. John on the play.
Pass there from Logan to Peyton Matthews. Got most of that chunk back and a little more. Definitely going to make it a manageable 3rd down. 3rd down and about 6 or 7 here.
Yeah, good play there. Again, we talk about that. Just if you take what they give you, you're going to be able to get 5-7 yards.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we're in 4-down territory here on our side of the field, but maybe if you get it again short, a short 4th down. But here they're definitely going to try to pick up the first down. Good pass there. I think that might be Bryce Trollinger or Jesse Kemper. There's Jesse Kemper there on
Kemper, that's his
reception.
First catch of the game. And that's, it's not rocket science. St. John there, they motion it back out, and they basically get 4 receivers to Perryville's 3 defenders. And outside linebacker goes with the back, and it just opens up the zone right there for Jesse Kemper to find himself open and just stay in the open zone. You don't have to keep running.
Oh, no. Not what you want to see happen there. Ball pops out. Looks like Perryville sideline seems to think like they have the ball. But no indication there for St. Genevieve. There you go. St. Genevieve does keep the ball. It's a little dangerous there.
St. John's trying to manipulate numbers so that they've got them outnumbered in the box, and you know at some time the line's got to win some battles.
That's a good catch there by Zach. Get around the edge. Forced out of bounds on Perryville's side around the 46-yard line.
Yeah, that's Zach's first catch of the night, and it was, like you said, it was a heck of a catch.
You said it when he caught it. That was a little low, and man, he caught it as smooth as silk there and got around the edge, and a good gain for St. Genevieve.
Puts them back where they need to be, third and 4, and they can, if they get it, get the first down good. If they get to 4th and 1, they're probably going to go for it anyway. Touchdown.
Right up the middle there. It's Peyton Matthews.
Perryville leaves the middle of the field wide open. They play their safeties really wide in that cover 4 shell, and St. John's just exploiting that with, it's just a skinny post right there, but the middle of the field's wide open, and they've got a backside safety over St. John's one receiver, and it's easy pitch and catch when you want to leave the middle of the field that wide open. Now they're double teaming Bees. They're leaving it more wide open. There's nobody there for. Yeah, not only does it leave you susceptible to passes in the middle of the field, but if you can block the 2 insides, there's no safeties there to stop the run. Whoever's running the ball, in that case, it was Keck.
Yeah, and I noticed they brought in Austin Bullock there and pulled out Zach, maybe to give him a break, but maybe to let a little bit of a lead block here. Looks like Logan's going to come out, and is that Seth Siebert into the game now?
Yeah, they're going to try to pound the ball, and Logan kind of, he's carried the ball about 15 times tonight, so they're going to give it to Siebert and see if he can get some yards and save Logan some hits.
Yeah, that's here's Logan back into the game now. Seth does a good job when he jumps in there, gains 5 good yards, good solid yards. And then, you're watching the clock wind down. We're at 5:30 to go in the 4th quarter here. St. Genevieve hanging on to an 8-point lead. Still Austin Bullock in the backfield. Looks like we're in 2-by-2 now.
St. John's not going to be in any hurry. They're going to move these receivers out. I don't think they're real interested in throwing the ball here. They're going to try to pound it and get some yards up the middle.
That's a good hard hit there.
Getting the ball at time. Quarterback number 4, Logan Gates. Accompanied by number 47, Caleb Drummond.
That was a play St. John put in this week. It's a little fold with a dive fake across, trying to hit them with it middle of the field still vacant. Now it's, you got 3rd and 3. You run your 2 best plays trying to pick up 6 feet, 8 feet.
We may look at the timeout here. Play clock's down to 5, so they will take the timeout.
Timeout.
All right, we'll step away real quick during the timeout and be back in just a sec. All right, St. Genevieve back again here. 3rd down and 3, a long 3. Power formation, pitch back to Austin Bullock. He finds a seam, and he's going to trot into the end zone. Boy, they needed that there, Coach Sherry.
Yeah, they went with their power eye, and then they came back this side, and that's you catch a team knowing that you run power right, and then it's just simple. You just run power the other way, and the team's overloaded for it the other side. Good play call, good execution, and up 14, hopefully getting ready to be 15. You've put yourself in a pretty good position to win the game, hopefully. Got an injury for St. Gen. I don't have a number on that for you.
All right. After a brief break for an injury, we are now going to kick the extra point. Mateus again on. High snap, but he gets into it, and it is good. Brings the score to 42-27 here with 4:15 to go in the fourth quarter.
Shout out Mateus' parents.
Good kick from Mateus. I believe he's was he 4 for 5 tonight?
4 for 5, I believe.
4 for 5. Good debut. He's had some. Even gotten the opportunity to kick off. Had some pretty good kickoffs. Pinned him inside the 20 once or twice, I believe.
In case you're interested, I'll throw you a few games from around the area while we're waiting for the kickoff here. Looks like a final. Park Hills beats Potosi 38-15. And in the fourth quarter, Jackson is now taking a pretty big lead on Farmington 35-14. Hillsboro and North County knotted up with 48 seconds to play in the fourth. Tarrytown and DeSoto 33-20 in 9 minutes in the fourth quarter. Bring you a few more here in a little bit. Valley Catholic, though, is leading Jefferson 31-13 in the fourth. Tias kicks off. High. Falls. Takes a hop. He's got to run back and field it. And again, you're going to pin him inside the 10-yard line, and a flag, and another flag. And I anticipate an offsetting penalties here.
There's going to be one on Perryville. I didn't see what the guy was throwing down here.
The one is definitely on Perryville. He ended up putting one of our guys out on the track from a block in the back. And I am not sure what the other one is on.
Whatever the case, Perryville is going to have a rather high mountain to climb here with down 2 scores with 4 minutes left and an offense that's
so it
not
is
really designed for big plays.
Sorry, it is offsetting. We did have the personal foul, and then there was also an unsportsmanlike on St. Genevieve. So they did offset. Perryville will take over here. Their drive inside the 10-yard line. Down 2 scores.
It'll be first and 10 for the Pirates. Ball be on the
St. Gen here, they've gone to their 3-2. They got a light box, but basically you're playing 2 safeties, and you're going to make sure that you force them to run the ball, nothing behind you. Or do that.
So again, he was flushed out. We got a flag here again. Looks like it's going to be on Perryville, and St. Jim will decline, I believe.
personal foul
Oh, wow.
against the Dragons.
I guess that's roughing the passer. St. John got good pressure, and the quarterback was under duress, and all they did was tackle him. That's a questionable call at best. These guys, they haven't had the best night.
They've not had a good night. That was a bad call. I mean, all he did was get his hands up to try to knock the pass down. Didn't even hit the helmet of the quarterback. Not sure. Sweep there to left, around the left, or 11 to the left side. Going to pick up about 7 yards.
7 yards. That's not going to win the game for Perryville. So St. John, just they're gonna try to motion you, and they're gonna try to get your D-backs to bite up on the motion. Just make sure everything's in front of you. That's all you need to worry about if you're those back 4 guys for St. John.
Make that tackle, hopefully inbounds, let the clock keep running. All those important things. They are going to throw the ball here to the outside. Good coverage there. Again, is that Kyle Kiefer, I think you said?
Kyle Kiefer, he plays the left corner for St. John, and he does a good job. He's a smart kid. He knows that his job isn't to run support on a inside run fake. Perryville coming with their little 4 unbalanced formation. St. John's just got to know that number 11 on the inside there, he's not eligible. You don't even have to worry about him.
33 in motion left. Sprints out. They are going to pass. Throws it deep to 33. Oh, really nice job.
Oh,
my goodness. Wow. Wow. I just don't understand.
Really good. I deemed it to be really good coverage. St. John following their assignments. I think it was Chuck Finley that came over the top. He plays one of those safety positions for St. John. He came over the top. He came with the correct hand and batted it down. It was a really good high school football play and a really poor call.
Coach Weiss joins us now on the camera to help us out. So, and I know he's already decided I'll never get to do this again. So,
All yours, buddy.
yeah, that was kind of textbook. Well, that's a way to come back from a play like that, you know.
The hard part for St. John is, fortunately, the kids haven't backed off. But it's like, what are we? It's hard because they don't know what they're supposed to do. They're playing hard. They're making the right plays, and seemingly everything they're doing right is getting penalized by the referees.
Yeah, again, we got a little bit of an injury timeout. We're going to step away while they do this. It's just under 3 minutes to play. 2:59. St. Genevieve up 42-27 to Perryville. Perryville with the ball.
Potential is a proud supporter of all of our athletes and athletic programs. We hope that you don't have to come see us throughout your season, but understand that when you do, it is our job to get you back on the field or court as soon as possible. We wish all of our community's athletes safety and success and look forward to continuing the positive partnerships we've developed with our schools. Good luck and good health to all of our athletes tonight and going forward.
All right, so we're going to be back, and we've now been joined on headset by Coach Weiss, who does this with Coach Harry, so we'll get him to interject some in here also.
Perryville looks like Dawson Camden, their go-to receiver, is going to have to go to quarterback now with that injury to Doherty.
Little seam pass, good play they've got going there. Get a lot of that yardage back. We'll bring up a third down and about 11 from the Perryville 40-yard line.
Yeah, it's tough for a kid to come in and not only have to play a position he's not really familiar with, but then do it in a manner he's not probably comfortable with. He's used to practicing on Thursdays, probably taking snaps and handing the ball off, and now he's got to come in and try to throw the ball.
Good play there. Good job again there, getting to the quarterback, making him under some pressure. Clayton Kreitler brings up a 4th down and 11.
St. John's secondary doing a really good job. Just staying in their back pedal, not letting anything behind them, and then it's just a 3-man rush unless they're sending some insides, but I think it's just a 3-man rush, and Clayton's playing real wide, so when they sprint to it, he's just got a free lane to the quarterback.
It's a good job there. Trying to see who that was on that side.
That was Kreitler again getting the pressure on.
Yeah, I think 53 initially was the first one getting to him. I don't know. You may know who is.
That's Evan. That's the other DN.
Okay.
Yeah, they were just lining up in basically a wide 9 on those tackles, and tackles couldn't get out of their stances in time to even get hands on them because they're not worried about the run there. It's 3rd and 11 with 2 minutes left, or 4th and 11 with 2 minutes left. They're going to come after the quarterback.
Yeah, here we're going to have a heavy dose of that power package that they put in that you've talked about quite a few times.
Perryville's got those 3 timeouts, so St. John, they're going to need to get a 1st down to ice this thing.
Looks like a handoff to the up back there. Short gain of 1. Does keep the clock moving. A little surprised that there was. Okay, there it is. A little surprised they didn't make that timeout call pretty quick.
Yeah, I would have made. If you're going to make it, you need to make it quicker. But I guess you got to decide if you want to try to come back in a 2-score game. But I think for your kids' sake, you need to at least act like you're trying to win. Like we said, Coach Slice joined us. Coach Slice, tell us a little bit about what's going on this fall, bud.
Well, we got some exciting news here. We got a slew of shirts in from Fleeks Farm Equipment. They're sponsoring a player of the game, and they wanted to make sure that they did it for all of our athletic programs. So we're going to give our first awards out. Last week, Austin Bullock got one for the football game last Friday. This week we had a golf match. We hosted a golf match against Farmington here in town, and Tammy Grass was the medalist in that match. She shot a 44, which is a very strong, solid score in high school girls golf. They're getting ready for their district match, so congratulations to Cammy as you're getting ready to take the snap.
Good hard run there by Austin.
And then as far as the football game tonight, I have not gotten to watch any of it, so I will let these 2 young men make that determination.
So Coach Aaron and I have talked, and lots of different guys came up, but I think we're going to give it tonight to Clayton Kreitler. He had the scoop and score. He's made some really good plays defensively. There's a few other guys we talked about, but I think Clayton's had a really all-around great game, so I think he's going to be our Fleeks Equipment Player of the Game tonight.
Yeah, the skill guys usually they're going to be the guys that get a lot of the T-shirts. Like Mr. Swice said, last week we gave it to Austin Bullock, and there was guys that were great contributors as far as the skill guys go, but block, punt, scoop, and score it kind of sealed the game for St. John. Perryville had a chance to come out and tie it if had St. John not done that, so that was a huge block punt and a huge play for Clayton, and then he put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and he defended did a decent job of defending the option game of Perryville all night.
So congratulations to Austin Bullock, Clayton Kreitler, and Cammy Grass, our first 3 ever SG Dragon TV Fleeks Farm Equipment Players of the Game.
All right, St. Genevieve is going to have about a 3rd and 8 here. I know they want to try to keep the clock moving, 1:20 to go. You want to see them get the 1st down so they can ice this thing. A little ISO there to Bullock, who might have actually lost a yard. But I think you're in 4-down territory here, don't you?
Perryville gets that timeout. This is a win-win for Coach Wyke. 4th and 9. You go safe punt and tell Logan to punt it out of bounds, or you can go scrum punt and tell him to punt it out of bounds, or you can try to go for it. I mean, any decision is probably going to be the right decision here. Maybe not throwing a pass on the scrum punt and throwing a pick six. That would probably be the wrong decision.
So as I said earlier, we got Coach Weiss up here, who is one of the student council sponsors and in charge of homecoming. And, I did that for, I believe, 9 or 10 years, so I know what it's like. But I guess it feels good to have some of the things out of the way, and everything has gone really well.
It is good. It's a long week, but it's well worth it. It's very enjoyable when you're out there at the parade, seeing all those alumni and all those familiar faces that you taught over the years. So,
not really what you want, but, there's an incomplete pass. Pretty much the same thing. They ended up with the ball in the same position as if we had gone for it and did not complete a pass. So Perryville will take over.
When Coach Terry says nothing bad can possibly happen, that usually means something bad can happen.
The right side of the line there, they kind of catch. And instead of catching there, they need to be treating it like a run play. And they need to be drive blocking and trying to move defenders instead of catching defenders, because the Perryville defenders in that case they're going, they're selling out, trying to block the punt, and St. John's offensive line is kind of catching.
Perryville does take over. Looks like they're trying to sweep out here right and getting quarterback kind of get run down and out of hurdles, and I don't know if that's a flag because we were going down to make the tackle. Kyle Kiefer was.
Yeah, if the defender gets to the ground, that's a legal play. It looks really cool, but it's also a loss of 6 inches, so
yeah,
doesn't look as cool in the stat sheet.
He does get out of bounds, though, I guess, and stop the clock, so maybe that was his goal.
If you do that 3 more times, you'll stop the clock and you'll lose.
That's
a yard and a half.
24 inches.
Yeah, 24 inches.
2/3 of a yard.
That's pass interference, and it's not going to be called. Make-up call there. The Bryce Challenger kind of climbing the back of the receiver, and the refs are ready to go home. They're not going to throw that flag.
I did see that the Potosi Central game was over about 45 minutes ago, and we're still here.
We did talk about that, too.
Probably not quite as many passes attempted in the Potosi Central game.
My guess is probably over under 6 would have been a good guess. Total by both teams.
Yeah.
It's a good pass there. We did have some pressure on the quarterback, but he does get away, and receiver comes back and makes that reception right in front of the St. Genevieve defender. Does go out of bounds with 47 seconds left. Gain there of about 24, I think, or close.
St. Gen getting good pressure with their D line. The nose there is not going to get a lot of push, but the outside guys, like we talked about earlier, they're lining up wide, and they're just getting off the ball before the tackles can even touch them.
This backup quarterback's come in and done a really good job throwing some really nice passes as he misses his receiver, just as I say that. But, as a backup guy, it's nice to see that, he's able to come in and it seems like he has some semblance of what's going on in the offense.
When, that Evan Doherty, their starter, he took a shot on the play that he was knocked out of the game, so you don't know what his prognosis would be for next week. So if they would have to go with Dawson Camden for the next couple weeks, that's at least he's getting some experience here. He's a junior along with Doherty, so both of them will be back next year.
Short pass there, falls incomplete. Again, defended really well by St. Genevieve. I do want to say congratulations to Miss Josie Geisner, as she was crowned homecoming queen this evening. And again to Bryce Trollinger, who was the homecoming king, decided at Spirit Night on Wednesday, but was also let everybody know at the Pep Assembly today, 7th hour. So congratulations to those two.
And then I don't know if we announced that Coach Weiss, who won the Who were the winners of the float contest?
Juniors got first, seniors got second, freshmen got third, and sophomores get the booby prize this year. But all 4 of those floats were great. The work that those sponsors and those kids put in to those floats is absolutely amazing. We go to a lot of teams' homecomings, and we happen to see them. And
I was about to say that same thing.
You don't want to downgrade the work that they put into them, but the time and effort that goes into our floats is absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I didn't really inspect the floats, but I saw them come in, and they were unbelievable how much the work that it appeared went into them. Like you said, we've been to other schools' homecomings, and they've literally had floats on like wagons, like Red Ryder wagons. Is that what they're called, Red Ryder wagons?
The radio flyer wagons?
Radio flyer wagons, yeah, like extremely unimpressive floats. It's the Red Ryder BB gun.
Well, St. Genevieve does hold, again, puts pressure on the quarterback. Pass falls incomplete. They are going to take over here on downs. Looks like we have about 26 seconds left. We're going to take a knee here in this game, this homecoming night. St. Genevieve looks like they're going to take the victory, 42-27. Good victory for the Dragons. I'm sure they're all excited. They've got the dance coming up tomorrow to finish the homecoming festivities. But I know this coaching staff, and they're not going to let them rest on this very long, and they're going to get back at it next week and get ready for the next game against, I believe you said it was Fredericktown.
Yeah, we'll go to Fredericktown next week. I got some quick ones. Again, I'm not always the best with my stats, but had Logan Gegg at 70 yards rushing. Boyer about 60 with a touchdown. Matthews 52 yards receiving. Trollinger 57 with that really impressive touchdown. Boyer with a 12-yard catch. Kipper with a 13-yard catch. Beezer 3 catches for 31 yards, and I believe his first varsity touchdown, which is always cool for kids. Logan Gegg around about 11 for 16, 18-ish for 165 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then Clayton Kryler capped the scoring with that block punt, scoop and score at the end of the first half.
All right. Well, again, we'll wrap it up here as the teams shake hands. St. Genevieve kids, I'm sure, will come over, sing the old alma mater, which I think is a really neat and cool tradition that they've had here for quite a few years now, and I'm sure the kids will be really excited about it as the stands start emptying. And I appreciate you guys letting me come and do it. It's been a while, and I know I don't see real well, so I didn't get all the numbers, but I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity, and it's a good win for the Dragons.
Yeah, you always want to cap your homecoming week with a victory in the homecoming game. St. John's won. I'd say they've won about their last 13 homecoming games. Probably a product of decent scheduling, but also a product of being prepared. Coach White does a really good job of not hindering the kids. I think it was one of the things I think is really cool about Coach White is they had the Powder Puff game Wednesday night, and Coach White and a lot of the coaching staff were actually reffing the Powder Puff game. And you hear a lot of coaches around the area that are just, anti-homecoming, and Coach White, he doesn't tell the kids to run around and stay out late all night, but he tells them to embrace homecoming and enjoy it and just make sure you're ready to do your job on Friday night. And in his 5 years as a head coach, he's always had his teams prepared for those Friday night games, and they've emerged victorious.
All right, we want to thank Russ Toombs for coming in tonight. He's always welcome to come back. And thanks to Adam Sherry for doing the great job that he always does every week. And we are signing out. You've been watching Dragon Football on SG Dragon TV.